Welcome to the AM briefing video presented by microstrader.com, where together we trade better.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Boy, this flu has put me out. Nice 12 hours of sleep last night. A little slow this morning. So let's get right into it. We're going to do an abbreviated AM briefing this morning, but let's do our scripture. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Give thanks in everything, for this is God's will for you in Jesus Christ. So today's tip of the day, these tip of the days have to do with me or what I've observed in my group. And my tip, once again, would be know when not to trade. Have self-awareness. Am I on my A game? Do I sound like I'm on my A game? No, so I probably should not be trading my cash accounts today. Or cash, well, no, I have to, Tasty and Tradeovate, but probably should not. Self-awareness is key to knowing whether or not you need to yank yourself off the trading floor. You can watch price action just for the love of price action. So let's get right to the chart. So today, the monkey wrench thrown into today's trading is Trump will be speaking. And if you haven't traded while Trump was president, you want to be aware of that. So in our trading floor, I will make constant reminders that when there's a press conference coming up or an announcement, we need to be aware about that because that moves the market. So that is this morning. Actually, that's at our quitting time. So that works kind of nice. We will do a YouTube live on Tuesday as well. And members, we will do our mental training at the top of the hour. I got to get this thing done. So down here, we have this trend line from 10 days ago, okay? And I wanted to come back and review that because that's going to play a role today, it's looking like. So originated down here. In fact, I looked at it again yesterday. Did it need any adjustment? And I said no. We came up here, touched this perfectly. I remember one of my traders definitely took that short. Then we finally broke through it, retested the top of it, and off to the races we go. Several gap ups, and now look where we're at. We're just hugging this trend line. Pretty wild. This vertical line is Trump speaking. I didn't want to forget about it as my brain is not 100% right now. So if you put the vertical line on your chart, it's a great way to remind yourself, oh yeah. So what are the key levels today? Well, the first one is going to be, let me turn on my session levels. It's going to be this one right here, which is the gap up, okay? That's the first major gap up is that level there. And that level is that 87 right here, 87.25 down here at the bottom. Then the next level that I think is of interest, let me go and remove those lines because I know where they're at, is this exact touch point. You draw that over, that's 74.25. So this level, this level, and of course, the next thing that has to happen, the very first thing that has to happen, we have to lose this trend line. I mean, look at that. That is just so wild to me. It always amazes me when you see it just tap dance against the trend line like that. I mean, look at that. It came down right to it, and now we're tap dancing up. So first we're going to do is lose that line. Will that happen because of the red vertical, which is Trump speaking? I don't know, but we've had several gap ups and 8 days up. SPX hit an all-time high yesterday, and I think that's worthy of note. In fact, let me come in here and type in SPX. Type in SPX here. Let's go to, so there was the all-time high on SPX, and you can see yesterday we took it. We took it right there. Let me zoom in just a little bit. You can see that we took that all-time high. So would this be a great spot for a nice little pullback? You bet it would be. So I'm on my toes for that. Does that mean I'm looking for shorts? No, not really. Now we're right here at this overnight high. Let's come in and take a peek at that. Let's come into a closer little look here. It has not taken this not this overnight high. This would be a level that would certainly be on my chart. If price popped up above this level here, that 20.25, probably the overnight high. Yeah, so that overnight high on your essentials indicator, it's this yellow. Come on.
Adjust AM risk settings.
Adjust AM risk settings. So this yellow line is the overnight high. That's where my eyeballs would be to see if price popped that, and there might be a switch. It'll be interesting. Yesterday's opening very well could be playing a role. So if you wanted to throw on yesterday's opening as well, not a bad idea. I'm going to go ahead and throw that on there for me. So ideally, if it's going to come down, come up and grab some sort of liquidity for me, either the overnight high or the RTH high, slam back down. Don't know if that'll happen. Boy, look at that. That is just so fun. It's so fascinating. One thing about our group, you will discover a love for price action. We love it. So are we all on the same train? That's the purpose of this page. First thing I asked myself, I literally asked that in my brain. Are we on the same train? Well, certainly not on the same train. Am I at least on the same train with NQ? We are very, very darn similar, aren't we? So let's slide you over just a little bit. Let's slide you over just a little bit. We're pretty much on the same train. We took the liquidity from yesterday, and we appear to have evidence of laddering back, but boy, is it weak. So sorry. Is it weak? Yes, it is. So trend line, first thing, fill the gap at whatever that 87. Oh, here it is, 87.25, 74.25. Under 74.25, we might have a very interesting move on our hands. Bull bear. Do we really need to do a bull bear? So the overnight trend line, I couldn't give an overnight trend line. That's my opinion. I don't think there is an overnight trend line. So nothing there for me, in my opinion. What about session stacking? Boy, you got to give that to the bulls. What about VWAP? This very moment, back and forth through VWAP like crazy. But at this very moment, it actually is above the VWAP. Overnight halfback, we're technically above it. Yesterday's range, we're inside of yesterday's range. It's certainly not bearish. Indices, it's mixed. I'm not going to give that to anybody. High time at that trend line retest at that 74.25. So to me, we're still above that. And the risk of a liquidation break is high, slightly there in the bears. We're seeing small signs of weakness. Once again, don't be the first one short. You'd want to be the second one short. There really aren't very many sellers at all. If you think about it, SPX hit an all-time high. Could we expect a little bit of a pullback because of that? Yeah. SPY did not hit its all-time high. Of course, ES did not hit its all-time high. So my eyeballs are going to be on the overnight high, RTH high, what happens here, and then what happens if we lose this trend line, because sometimes you'll lose that trend line and you'll get a little back test of that as well. That'd be interesting if that was against the opening and you could take that short. I can't wait to trade with my traders live in my group. If you'd like to check us out, go to microstrader.com and grab yourself a Zoom pass.
Stay green, my friends, and to learn more about our group, go to microstrader.com.